Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey there, I'm John St. John, and you are watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast.
Nipple.
Actually, I'm looking at a picture of my daughter where she has more hair than you do.
Why are we starting the podcast with a roast of AJ? Everybody just caught... I'm pretty sure they caught Rob.
Hi,
everybody. What's going on, nerds? Welcome to this week's episode of the Nerds Doing... I can't even do it. We're talking about Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And,
I can't breathe. I'm bright red.
my whole open that I do every single week literally went out the window because I was called bald. Not that it's new. Just the way she said it. Nothing beats with my nephew with the invisible hair joke.
I mean, come on. My 1 month old, when my daughter was born, she had more hair than you. I'm going to pay for these comments in a not so subtle way later.
The thing is, it doesn't happen. I don't pay you back. I just annoy the absolute living heck out of you.
That's a form of payback.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fine. You'll take that. Hi, Rob. We'll start with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Very happy. I got a new shelf. It doesn't take much to please me.
Which direction do we want to go?
You hear that,
I'm
women?
setting you up. God damn it. Take the shot.
You hear that, women? It doesn't take much. Pretty sure you could probably go to the Family Guy thing. Here's $1.76. Do something with me. Pooh! I love you. Rob, do you know that episode?
No.
Oh, I'll send you the clip later. But how is your shelf?
Yes.
Because when you showed it, it looked freaking nice.
So, I used to have like a tiny little stick thing that was maybe a third this wide.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I have everything there now.
Dude.
And it looks great. It's still going, by the way. There
Which
it is.
pop figures are those? Go back down a little bit.
Steven Universe.
Steven Universe, those are the ones that Susie and Will gave me.
I've never
And
seen it.
Pink Diamond is hiding up here because she's a bitch.
You need to watch Steven Universe. You would like it.
I'm currently watching a different show right now, and then another show. I'm currently watching multiple shows at once.
Hmm.
One is The Last of Us, which, hi everybody, if you haven't tuned into one of our reaction shows immediately following their releases on Sunday evenings, we have spoiler warning right here on this channel. It's Susie, myself, and Ryan, the wrestling guru, with the Wrestling with Nerds podcast, also on the channel.
It's the first time you have like all of us in one place.
It's
Like
so
all the
nice.
channels in one spot.
Yeah, literally the three of us.
Mhm.
Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, The Last of Us. Watching that. That's fun. There's a lot of people that don't like season 2. There's a lot of people that don't like Bella Ramsey as Ellie now. I don't understand the hate. We'll talk more about it on Sunday night. But I also enjoyed those conversations I had with people that had issues. They stated their stuff, I stated my stuff. We agreed to disagree, but I like having those kind of back and forth conversations, see where people's heads are at when it comes to media. But I kind of jumped to Hulu for something I've seen ads upon ads upon ads upon ads upon ads with. Only Murders in the Building. think it's what it's called. Did I say that right? Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin. It is funny. It's like really not trying to be funny, and just having Nathan Lane in the show too. And
Mhm.
every time he gets like really loud, all I hear is Timon, because it is Timon.
So, first of all, Steve Martin and Martin Short, I don't believe this is their first time acting together.
No.
I'd have to.
I don't think so, but I think they're like
but they-
actual like best friends.
They act really, really well together. They're really good friends. So and Selena has done interviews about this show and about working with Steve and Martin, and she's just like they just they just enveloped her. Like they're like, they watch out for her, they help her, they you know so it's interesting to see, like, how the older generation is helping the younger generation succeed. Also, Nathan Lane has a new TV show out, and don't ask me what it's called because I don't remember.
What's your favorite Nathan Lane media? Because I go to the producers.
The producers.
Is it? Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Him and Matthew Broderick?
Matthew Broderick.
Because Gene Wilder was the first one, right? Was it Gene
Yes.
Wilder? Okay.
Gene Wilder. I don't. I love Gene Wilder. He is one of my favorite people. However, I don't like him in the producers.
No? I'm actually kind of shocked by that. See, it's the producers and obviously like Lion King afterward. But then it's which Lion King? For me, it's 1.5.
I've got nothing because
Oh.
now I've got the digging song stuck in my head.
Rob, do you have any input on anything we just said?
No.
Oh, okay. I was expecting there actually being a light bulb to go off instead of a flat line.
No. The only thing I have to add is, hey, look at this shelf and how much I really like Dark Souls. Because I have Dark Souls the card game and Dark Souls the board game.
You get, once again, reminds me of Spaceballs. Something reminds me of Spaceballs. Look, it's the Spaceballs flamethrower.
Okay, I found Nathan Lane's new show. It is called Mid-Century Modern, and it stars not only Nathan Lane but Matt Bomer.
Sure. Whatever
And
you say, boss.
Nathan Lee Graham. And its premise is actually really cool. So I mean, I'm probably gonna check it out. It just started March 28th.
It got brought to my attention before we went live tonight. That Destiny 2 is coming out with another expansion pack. And it's Star Wars.
But why?
Well, there's a thing called money.
There's this thing called the only reason I would play Destiny is for the Star Wars pack, and even I hate Destiny. Like,
I don't mind it. I actually kind of like Destiny. Me and Dan were having a freaking blast with it. Actually,
oh no, it's a decent game. I just don't like it.
Played Destiny 1 for like an hour. Where I'm like, I'm just gonna play Halo.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes a little bit more of sense. And then we get a GTA 6 trailer that came out, also telling us that it gets delayed to May 26, 2026. So that's fun. We gotta wait a whole nother year. Knew it was coming. And then all of Microsoft equipment, controllers, consoles, everything basically went up by either $50 or $100.
Man, am I glad I got my Series X when I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it went from $499 to $599. Damn. Makes me happy that I got mine day one.
Makes me happy that I'm borrowing mine.
That's mine, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was just checking. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, when the hell did you get an Xbox?
Yeah, it's yours. That's why I said borrowing mine.
That's what I was trying to figure. But Susie, you're doing something pretty cool. And you mentioned that you want to see the movie adaptation to it. You're reading something right now.
I am. I'm reading Sunrise on the Reaping.
You
And
want to get into it and talk about what what you think of it so far?
It's been a really long time since I've enjoyed a book this much. I started this on Sunday and I haven't had a whole lot of time to read. I'm already on page 147. I'm like halfway through the book.
Damn. I haven't had a lot of time to read. I'm already halfway.
I was on chapter 7 by the time I went to sleep on Sunday. I didn't read a whole lot Tuesday night, but yeah, I've been reading as much as I possibly can. And the amount of characters, now this is Haymitch's story. So it is primarily told, it's third person, but it's from Haymitch's point of view. Hold on. Is it third person? I don't want to skip ahead. Oh no, it is in Haymitch's point of view. I thought it was third person for some reason. But it's Haymitch's point of view, and it's actually really cool to see how much the tributes go through and the different things that the Capitol will use to get back at somebody. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we get to see a lot of familiar faces that we'll see in Katniss's Hunger Games, so that was exciting for me, and it took every fiber of my being to not scream when I have a 17-month-old sleeping right next door. So,
any other cool news in the world of nerdom before we get to Transformers: Rise of the Beast?
So I consider that a bit of a light read, Susie. I'm reading this right now, which is The Founding, a Gaunt's Ghost omnibus. This is like 3 books in one, and I'm about the same amount of pace through it, 175 pages, out of what promises to be over 3,000 pages.
Yeah, if I walked downstairs and got all the books that I just bought on Sunday, my stack would be about that big. I have to actually do a very nice shout out to my parents and I went to a book fair on Sunday. It was actually really, really nice. And something that I wish they would bring back, because we went to Little Red Barn Brewers, who did a book fair on Sunday, and it was called Books, Brews, and Bullseye. So they did discounts on the axe throwing that was right next door. They had really good drinks, and they had a buffet that we could go through and grab like small things. And I haven't had that much fun going through a book fair. Like, I haven't had that much fun shopping for books in a while. And as AJ can attest to, because he's really the only person here that can attest to this, I disappear when I go into a bookstore. You can't find me.
You sit.
I sit. I find
Oh, you're one of those weird people that sits.
If I'm trying to figure out if I want something, I will sit and read the back cover and then read something else to see if I want that. Yeah, I disappear down an aisle and you can't find me for a little bit.
Which funny story was she was right by the entrance.
Nobody could find me. I was sitting right by the entrance. Nobody thought to look at the comics.
So this is a Warhammer 40k book.
Ooh.
40,000.
So definitely something I wish they would bring back. I mean, this was really, really small. They did not have a huge selection of books, but what they did have was stuff that I probably would have never found in a bookstore. Because it's not of the way bookstores display their books. It's not anything against the authors or anything like that. So it was nice to find stuff like that. I mean, I got AJ and Jess a baby shower present from that, so I can't complain.
Slow pen.
It was the slow looking towards me going, "What did you get me?"
Why would you get AJ a book?
How to change a blown out diaper.
AJ, I will tell you, my dad got the same book you and Jess are getting, and he loves it. So
Everybody poops. Got it.
How to potty train your child.
Throw a Cheerio in the water and tell them to aim.
No,
I'm not having I don't have a boy.
No, you're a Catholic. It's going to be everybody poops and why you should be ashamed of it.
Why defecating is bad.
Oh, did everybody see about the new pope?
Yeah, he's from Chicago.
What?
He's
No, Newark.
No, he's from Chicago.
He's from Newark.
I thought he was from New York, New Jersey.
No, he's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago, and unless I'm wrong about my history, he's the first American pope.
Yes,
He is.
and people are pissed.
I'm over here like, oh my god, that's so exciting.
I mean, I thought
I'm
it was
wondering-
cool.
I
I'm
think
wondering
it's
what
really
his
cool.
title's going to be.
What do you mean?
He
Like
is
Because
Pope-
the name he picked?
Yeah, the namey bit.
Leo the
Pope
the
Fourth?
name
Leo
of
the
it-
14th.
Leo the 14th. Oh, God. Why, Leo?
Well, because he was born in September. I don't know. Sorry, that was bad.
Couldn't
So
have gotten
moving-
Urbane or, I don't know, one of the war popes. That would have been funny.
It might have been ominous a little bit.
You really want to pick a war pope in this generation?
All right, let's hit the
not?
Transformers: Rise of the Beast that came out in 2023. Stephen Cable is the first director that isn't Michael Bay, so that's fun. Michael Bay kind of got dropped to a producer role. It stars Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback as your two leads. It also has Ron Perlman, Peter Dinklage, Pete Davidson as Mirage was so much fun. Probably one of the best characters in the movie for me. But let's get into some of the details. It's 127 minutes, just over 2 hours. Had a budget right around 200 million, brought home 441.4 million. So Transformers did this and then that.
Yeah, I think this is the lowest box office one besides, I guess, one.
Second lowest. I think the one before this was less. Give me a sec. What is that? The Last Night?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Don't type that in. That'll take me to a not good site. Shut up. Oh no, last night was 605. Okay, so this is the lowest.
Yeah, I thought so.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I honestly can't blame this for being the lowest, considering that it's been a series of misses.
So we'll talk about it, but this is the biggest thing of Beast Wars with barely any beasts. The movie's about them, but they're barely in the movie.
Well, that's why it's the Rise of the Beasts.
They're still barely in the movie.
How much Luke was in Rise of Skywalker?
Technically, it wasn't even him. They were talking about her. But no, you start the movie off great with Optimus Primeval. And I was like...
Ow. Primal.
Primal?
Wait, that wasn't a joke?
I messed up. It's fine. We'll move past it. It happens on a daily. We know this. It's okay. This is why I have a co-host and somebody actually that knows what the hell I'm supposed to be saying.
Ow.
But you start the movie off so well, and then it jumps a couple hundred years, and I'm like, they're doing the people thing again. And this takes place 10 years or 5 or 6 years after Bumblebee.
94.
And then come to find out, Optimus Prime hates people.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting Optimus Prime to hate people. Any part of the TV series, comic books, what have you, Rob, because I know you're very well versed in all that. Was Optimus Prime ever against the human race like that?
No, not really. He was always leery of them knowing about Autobots because he feared that they would exploit, as you do.
Yeah.
But he always at the very least respected that, one, we were either dangerous, or two, that we were capable.
He was a straight dick in this movie for a good half of it. And I love Peter Cullen. I love the Optimus Prime character. I did not like him in this movie. Like, not Peter Cullen, the character I did not like in this movie, because it's Optimus Prime. He's supposed to be the beacon of hope, not an asshole.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
But I'd also
'Cause-
like to hear your opinion. Oh, she took a second. That's not good.
It took a second because you and I have different perceptions of this movie. I like the fact that the beasts don't come in until like the tail end of the movie. That being said, I think if they were going to call this movie Rise of the Beasts, there needed to be a sequel. I'm not sure what the hand motion was there, Rob, but
Because there
Because
probably is a sequel coming. They did set it up to
they set it up.
continue They
set
showed
it
him
up to continue it,
Section 7.
but
Sector 7.
Nope.
this
Nope.
That wasn't
But-
that?
No.
Oh.
No. Nope. My tagline down there.
it's G.I. Joe.
No shit.
That was actually G.I. Joe. They were spoilering it.
Oh, that's dumb.
Well, not spoiler. They were hinting at, because it's Hasbro.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the magical ponies to show up.
No. No. Rob, I swear to Christ. No.
And then
Yeah.
and then one of them's got a big boombox playing Pink Pony.
Deploy the friendship laser.
Care Bears. Then My Little Pony.
What really gets you is, which generation is it gonna be? Because I'm betting one.
Well, because wasn't there talk about them making like a Hasbro verse?
This is it. This movie was supposed to set that up.
And this came out 2 years ago. Is there any talk of it
Yes.
continue?
Ooh, Rob's heard something I haven't.
So
Rob's probably looking at something that we're not.
so there's supposed to be. This was back in February 2022. There was going to be a sequel to this movie. There was
Mhm.
going to be 3 sequels. One to The Last Night. One that had Angel Manuel Soto.
Okay.
And that was supposed to be a joint one between Paramount and E1.
Mhm.
But then something happened, and that something was Transformers 1, and it bombed. So
Which is dumb because it bombed in the box office, but once it got to
Yeah.
DVD sales and streaming.
the problem is that poor performance caused Hasbro to back out from joint ventures. So the Rise of the Beast sequel that would be the crossover between G.I. Joe and Transformers, set in, I think, the G.I. Joe movieverse,
Mhm.
they're not funding any of those crossover movies. So you're losing one of your biggest backers.
Why is it all the good movies? All the good movies bomb at the box office. Because if you're looking at Rotten Tomatoes, and I know how much we don't like to use Rotten Tomatoes as a barometer, it's at it. Shoot, I just lost it. I'm dumb. Give me a sec. I want to say it was at a 80 something.
Yeah,
Oh, it's at an 89 and an IMDb score of a 7.6 out of 10. Those are
Which is
really good
good.
scores, and they're really good movies.
so what's interesting is if you compare moviegoers before COVID to moviegoers after COVID, majority of the people got used to being able to watch the movie in their own home for the same cost of going to the movie theater. So why are we going to the movies? And I think that's a lot of the problem is, and that's partially why it's bombing, is because what movie do you actually want to go see in theaters?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to go see the Thunderbolts, or what they're calling now the new Avengers.
Yeah, the new Avengers looks good. And then I want to go see Lilo and Stitch, but
That was a given. I wasn't even going to throw that out there because I've been told for 2 years now that when that comes out, I'm getting my ear pulled to go to the movie.
So, I will say this. It's the crossover movie is still technically happening. It just won't have the co-financing from Hasbro. And that was Paramount said they're going to make it, but I don't know if it's going to be Rise of the Beast related. So they're planning for either this year or next for that to happen.
well, that'll be exciting. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
So
this movie
there's
was
3 movies in production technically.
okay. Yeah, this movie was a perfect setup for it to be called Rise of the Beast. If in the next movie had a lot of beasts in it, which we don't have that as a guarantee. So,
I mean, they killed one off here.
yes.
Air Racer, my beloved.
That honestly was such a great scene, and I hate to say that because, you know, a character died. But just the please do it. It needs to be done. And then, yeah, I was like, oh, did I just feel something from a movie that I'm really not liking? Aw, oh, crap, I did.
Fans of the original Beast Wars lament this movie.
I have a love-hate relationship with this movie. I have days where I like it and I really, really want to watch it, and then days where I have AJ's opinion and I hate the movie. So for me, it's a mixed bag. I love the original Beast Wars. So,
like I said, I wish this movie had more beasts and less human. Like, I love Scourge. Is that what his name is?
Scourge. It's Scourge.
Yeah, AJ, you're saying exactly what I've been saying for the last multiple Transformers movies. They have not yet found a good balance between robots and humans.
Yeah, no.
So, hot take here. This is one of my favorite Transformers movies.
No shit.
Yes, I laughed my ass off watching this movie.
Probably because all Pete Davidson is Mirage, because he was fantastic.
No, it's not even him. It was the humans. They made me laugh. They had good
Sonic
moments.
and Tails?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was cute. I loved their dynamic. Honestly, because they only had like what, 2-3 humans at most.
Yeah, just the two of them, the male and female leads.
That was the perfect balance, I think. Even if they had like 5 more humans, so long as they were side characters, that would have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
But just keeping it the 2 of them and the little brother to give grounding to the characters. I really like that. It worked for me. I loved Unicron because so often Unicron does not have a personality.
Oh, Unicron actually gets a personality in this one.
And granted, he's basically me at 3 a.m. Need snack. Need snack now.
Jeez.
But he comes off as somewhat threatening, mostly because of size and the fact that he reminds me of battle planets.
Hmm.
If anyone remembers that hot take of a series.
Unfortunately.
And I wish there weren't the Terrorcons. I wish they could have developed Scourge's faction more, because Terrorcons are basically just throwaway minions. Kind of like the Insecticons.
Yeah.
But for what it was worth, it was okay, because Decepticons up to this point haven't been really two-dimensional. But I mean, I really like this. I'd still under Transformers 1 for me,
Same.
but I think it's number 2.
I wanted to have fun with this. There are parts of this movie I actually enjoyed. Like you mentioned, the brothers, I loved their dynamic. I felt like the story kind of fell flat for me. Like, I get it, it's Transformers. The world is going to end if we don't do something. Literally all of them. I don't know. I if it's Rise of the Beasts, I expected the Beasts to be a more predominant role in the movie. Even though the Gorilla Transformer, so I don't say his name wrong again, did basically
Optimus
save
Primal.
Primal. I said Primeval, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whirl. I know the ride doesn't exist anymore. It's fine. No, I wanted more out of this movie, and that's really it. I felt like I wasted probably a really poor choice of words. Yeah, no, screw it. I wasted 2 hours wanting more of the Beasts. Because they started off with a bang.
So for me, the story didn't fall flat. The brothers were probably my favorite element in the whole movie. I liked the setup. Which is why I will stand by the statement of, and I do love this movie. But I will still stand by the statement that I think that this, if we knew there was a second movie coming out, this would be the perfect setup for like Rise of the Beasts, for that title frame, because then you could get into the beasts towards the end of the movie, and then the second movie is like really all about the beasts.
Yes.
So I think the title is misleading, but otherwise the movie, like, I personally really, really enjoy the movie. So I mean, nothing will beat the cartoon, the animated series Beast Wars, but
Has not aged well, by the way.
huh?
Has not aged well.
No.
What aspects has it not aged well in?
It's a CGI series made when CGI was first starting out, but it was syndicated on TV. So
What are we looking at, like 94, 95?
Reboot era.
Ew.
Yeah.
So this is when it was first starting out. It's not great.
So Rob,
No.
you ranked this as second under Transformers 1.
Yes, I think so.
Suze, where do you put this?
I'd probably agree with Rob. I would put this as second under Transformers 1.
This is mid-pack. It closer to the bottom, but mid-pack.
I wasn't sure if AJ was rebooting because Rob and I agreed on something.
No, it was more of you said almost the exact same stuff I did, but you're like, nope, still P2.
Because for me, this was a better movie than all the other movies.
You done hurted my brain.
I mean, if I was going to rank all of them, it'd probably be Transformers 1, Rise of the Beasts, Bumblebee, and then there'd be a mosh in the middle with the Mark Wahlberg movies bookending it all.
Ma waba.
All I know is The Last Night and this are at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
with Age of Extinction right above both of those. And
Okay.
then probably 2, 1, 3 in the middle.
See, for me, part of the reason it's ranked as high as it is because I enjoyed the so I enjoyed the brothers and some of the human characters more than I enjoyed any of the human characters in any of the other movies.
I mean, I'm more intrigued about the G.I. Joe shit. I want to see
As-
that, because my brain immediately thought that was Sector 7. I had no idea that was a G.I. Joe thing.
What
Yeah,
did
when you
they
flipped
bring
the
into-
card, it said G.I. Joe on it.
Oh, they
Yeah.
actually showed the card? I must have missed that.
Mhm.
Oops. Kind of hazard when you're trying to watch a movie while you're trying to do stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, AJ.
Hey, don't bury me here. Don't do it.
I had to say, there was also one thing else I liked, and it was the Mirage power armor.
Okay.
Because at that point, I was thinking, man, we're just watching Macross now, aren't we? Because that's straight up from Macross season 3 or series 3, which I know technically isn't Macross; it's a whole other anime. Shut up! It's Macross.
Shut up, Meg. But after tonight, since we're done with Transformers, hey Susie, what do we start next week? Because I'm very excited for it.
Is that our musical series?
It is. And hopefully we could torture Rob with watching it.
I don't know what they are.
It's The Greatest Showman, I think, next week is. Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Never seen it. I'm also not very big into musicals. They are among my least favorite genres to watch.
I
It
can
has to
respect that.
It has to be the right ones, and usually I get dragged to them and I end up liking them.
I did not like being forced to watch Burlesque.
I feel so sorry for you.
Was that your
That's-
first one?
I am so sorry.
I mean, technically, my first one was Les Mis. That was rough.
I would have liked Les Mis
I like
Wait.
Les Mis.
because
That was
I
my
like the
first
French
one.
Revolution.
It wasn't your first one. Did you watch The Producers before or after Les Mis?
After.
Oh,
Same girlfriend at the time, but it was after.
okay.
And then I watched Moulin Rouge, and I'm like, dude, just take the frickin' Adderall for 5 seconds and stay on a scene.
I'm not a huge fan of Moulin Rouge, so I've been watching musicals.
I just happened to pick the 2 worst ones, didn't I?
Moulin Rouge isn't the worst one, but the fact that you started on Burlesque, I am so sorry.
This one's about the Barnum and Bailey Circus build-up.
I've been watching musicals since I was little. One of my favorite musicals growing up was Cats and Jesus Christ Superstar.
Superstar.
I mean,
And I can't watch the movie version of Cats with Taylor Swift and James Corden. Can't do it.
I never got the point of Cats because it's just here I am, here's my song, this is what I do, and now I'm
so-
gone, and here's this next person, and 12 freaking
So-
times in a row.
Cats is actually more in depth than that. It's a book of poems about Jellicle cats, and it's which one's going to ascend and be reborn.
Yes, I know what Cats is, because guess what? I've also watched Cats.
Okay. But yeah, Cats is just based on a book of poems. And if you watch it with the right cast, it's actually enjoyable. I saw that one in the Palace Theater.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I saw that and Rent in the Palace Theater. And I've seen, oh my God, what's the show called? I know what I can hear the song in my head. I can't think of what the name of it is.
But yeah, I've watched Burlesque, and I'm like, man, I really don't like this. And then Moulin Rouge came on, and it's just like, I can't. It's sensory overload, man. Stick to a frickin' shot. So apparently, I just started out with the 2 worst ones you could for a beginner.
I'm actually really looking forward to watching The Greatest Showman again. I can't remember. Do you have Hamilton on this list too?
I should.
I'm looking.
No, I don't. But I can
No?
add it.
No, you don't. Yes. Oh yeah, you do. You have it in July, which it should definitely be up here. Because isn't that a musical too?
Yeah, I think at that point I was just going through the list in my head of which. Oh no, no! It has to stay in July. It actually now has to switch with Sonic 3. I did it on purpose.
July 4th.
Yep.
Wait
I
a
like how I
second,
looked
am
at the dates and I knew exactly why I did it that way.
Oh my god. How did I forget about this?
What?
Magic the Gathering is getting a movie
What?
and a TV show.
Yes.
Okay. What? Is it made by the same
Netflix.
people that did the League of Legends? Okay.
Wait. Monopoly, Nerf, and Risk are also getting a series? How do you do a movie about frickin' Nerf? Now I want to see it just to find out.
Okay.
But the reason I was looking at this is because if they're doing Hasbro crossovers, there's a few other things Hasbro can be crossed over with. Magic the Gathering being one of them, and another one being Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
Ooh. I didn't think of
Ooh.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I forgot about that one.
So did I. They just made a movie anyway about Dungeons and Dragons, so still have yet to watch. Gotta get around to watching that.
Dude,
You should.
the fans for the show were so dedicated, they made an entire ending episode to the series.
The things you know.
A whole ass episode.
the more you know.
The more
You got anything
Hi.
else for tonight?
No,
We just chilling, having
just
fun,
chilling, just
Wait.
vibing.
just vibing. But what, honey? What? Why would I like hairspray? I hate you.
Jess, I could hug you for that.
We heard that.
That was messed up. Why is everybody doing that to me? You started it. This is your fault. Shut up. This started with you when we started the show. Oh God, Susie needs to breathe. She's red. She's almost as red as Rob's chair.
Well, at least I went out because Jess killed me. So
Well,
we're good.
we knew that was gonna be a thing. We just didn't know when. Or how. Jessica with a candlestick. Oh no. Would it be a candlestick? What would you use in Clue? Candelabra. And then it would sing "Be Your Guest" afterwards, right? All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. The next Nerds episode will be Sunday, immediately following The Last of Us episode 5. Be there, be square for spoiler warning. Take care, everybody.
Well, bye.
So I guess you didn't want to hear about my G.I. Joe OC?
Oh, go for it.
No. Bye.
Bye. Bye.